Okay, I think I'm gonna do a Neil pickup real quick. I think
Yeah.
I don't think we're live yet. I don't think we're live yet. Can you tell me if we're live, Josh? We're, I don't think we're live yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Looking. We're live.
We're live.
We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arm Wrestling Showcase number 55. You all know our host, Kane Fontecchio with Alpha Empire Arm Wrestling, and myself, Josh Edwards with Nowhere to Run. Today, we're going to be talking about the Challenger Series that just happened. Super exciting matches with some of Cali's very best arm wrestlers over there competing and representing arm wrestling for North America. Super awesome weekend that happened. We're also going to be talking about what everybody's waiting for, the list of the matches for North versus South. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that today. Kane, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, man. And nothing but love for Neil Pickup. Neil Pickup's the man, and real excited to hear he's going to be coming out to California for his Savage Search in September, late September, early October. That's going to be really cool. So sorry, I just wanted to have a little fun on my end. I think I don't know, whatever software I'm using, it'll tell me when we're live. But I love that when you start it out and you're like live for like when Neil's live for like a minute or so, and they're just like, I don't think we're live. I don't think we're What's up, Danny Dowler?
Yeah, he's
He's in the
good.
chat. What's up, Devin Knox? Good to see you here. The Drew, what's up? And Arm Truvial, good to have you guys back. So last weekend, yeah, that was pretty cool. So which matches do you want to talk about? Which ones have you had time to watch so far?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Definitely the Matt Mask and Brad Grundy match. That was a crazy match.
Hmm?
I don't know if many people expected it to go like that. Um, like you had mentioned earlier, the Eli side off match with George Whitfield. That was a pretty dominant performance.
Hmm?
Let's see what else. Paul Passmore looked insane against Ahmed. Yeah, just crazy, crazy, crazy strong, and he kept his composure. Yeah, so I mean, definitely those are a couple of them. Obviously, we have to talk about Derek and the Auden match and stuff like that. But all I have from that is just knowing the results of what happened. I haven't had the pleasure of watching those matches yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, speaking of Auden and James English in particular, that match was the first reference match that I've had to kind of like see where Auden's at, I guess. You could say ET was as well, but I don't know. I feel like I got more because I have pulled James English a bit in practice as well. And I don't know, I just feel like I got a lot more in terms of like where his level is at because James English is so strong. Um, so yeah, it's just weird, you know. ET is strong too, but he's just very tricky. So that one kind of showed me how intelligent Auden is and how technical he can be on the table to keep someone like ET out of his lane. But to be able to get past James English, that was interesting to me. What did you think about that match?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, James is just a complete unit, right? The dude is so built, he's so strong. He's one of those guys that you can tell. It's only a matter of time if he really gets dedicated to it and wants to get better at this sport. He's going to. But yeah, just like you said, it gives a real kind of um, radar of where Auden is right now. And I think that Auden is probably higher level than a lot of people, were thinking. He just
again, when we're talking about composure and we're talking about being able to do what you need to do to get the job done, and then maybe as the rounds went on, after the first two, which were pretty easy flash pins, it maybe seemed like Auden was giving up a little bit to kind of, do like that whole John Brzezinski thing, like I'll go where you're strong, and that didn't work out. But he was able to come back and readjust and go back, to where the lane. It reminded me a lot of backwards, but like the Will Klingman and Chewy match, how
Yeah,
it kind
Will
of went
Clayman wanted
where,
to try the hook. Yeah, right.
yeah, and it was like, okay, that didn't work, but I still have the arsenal to go back and do this and take the W. So it was super amazing as far as that's concerned. And yeah, just much respect to both of them. James English for stepping up, being so new in the sport and going on that big stage like that. And
Right.
then Auden, sky's the limit for that guy. I cannot wait to see him come down here in North America and start pulling at these tournaments.
Absolutely. And that was, yeah, the one thing with James is, I mean, he looked, he looked like an arm wrestler on the table, but he is new to the sport. Seemingly relatively, he hasn't like been taking it seriously for a long time, right? It just more recently. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and Yeah, I would like, I'm reading some of what Carl Gerke is saying here. He's saying Auden's 6'4", 230 pounds, and needs to pull people his size. Um, so in regards to that comment, yeah, what's James, like a 210, 220 guy? Or is he even lighter? Because he looked pretty big to me at Armfest.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's around that size. I think
Yeah.
he's around the 215, somewhere around there, 205, 215.
Okay, yeah, putting that together with what Carl's saying, yeah, I mean, we've seen him against ET, who's much smaller. And ET's been pulling, I want to say like 5+ years. Um, yeah, who would we want to see Auden pull next? Do we want to see him pull not just a 230 pound person, but somebody
Nah, I
pretty
want to see him
competitive
pull
at that
Mika.
weight?
I want to see
Okay.
him pull Mika.
Yeah. Yeah, that could
You
be.
know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want to see
both
I want to
long
see him
movers.
pull right there in in that wheelhouse and see where he's at. Like really, we know he's strong.
Hmm.
We know he knows how to arm wrestle. Now we need to see Auden against somebody who does have a respectable level, to actually see where he fits in the mix of the big picture, right?
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, like a guy like Mika or or a bigger leap, but Dallas or something like that. You'd like to see him against some of the top guys over here to see how that would go.
Yeah, Javier Martinez is in the house, my teammate. He says Larry Wheels against Auden. Yeah, Larry Wheels, I believe, is stepping away to focus on bodybuilding right now. But yeah, to me, it would be throwing another, what kind of like almost an exhibition type match at Auden. And yeah, I think the next step is definitely seeing somebody who's competitive at that 220, 230 range. Not that Larry's not, but he's relatively new to the sport. I don't know. I just, I think you know what I'm getting at. Carl Gerke
Yeah.
also says not to be that guy, but he wasn't very impressed by James English when he was at Armfest. Ooh. But that's Carl Gerke. Carl Gerke is a beast. And Carl's right in that weight category too. What are you trying to say, Carl? Carl and Auden. And he says also Auden has been polling for 6+ years. That has to come into account when
Of
talking to him,
course.
regardless of age. I actually thought he was pulling longer. You kind of assume he's a Lorette, that he's been,
Well,
pulling
yeah. I
all
mean,
their life.
he said the other day on a video that he's basically been pulling his whole life. He said that like he pulled his first tournament when he's like 2 or 3 years old.
Right, right. Yeah.
Um, And there's video of Auden pulling when he was like 6 and 7, um, and even a couple years older, where he was like, you know, going through the whole class, and then his sister Haybree, went up against him, and he let her take the win. Um, that way she could win the first place and all that. He's been doing it for quite some time. I
Right,
think
right.
that everybody now sees Auden, and he is a young man, and he's grown up quite a bit. So now everybody's like, "Oh, well, we haven't seen much of him." But if you've been following Devin, that the kid's been around arm wrestling his whole life.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's like the Brzezinski type story.
right.
Raised around a dad who was an arm wrestler, or who did it, a little bit, and sky's the limit. Like I said, I mean, that dude already. Well, first of all, for the Challenger Series, he weighed more than his dad that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty. He's already heavier than Devin. I know Devin just cut down a bunch of weight, but you have to think how big that frame could really be when he doesn't have to stay real slim for the military, or the things that Devin had to go through.
Right,
Auden
right.
already looks like he has a frame that's just going to be bigger and thicker. So, I mean, imagine a 320-pound Devin.
Mm,
That's probably what you're looking at.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a trip. It's definitely a trip. Yeah, I've been noticing the same thing with Mega Minor. That kid's getting big. And
Man.
at first glance, yeah, he's big, but it's all like frame, which is perfect because that's what those young guys need at this point, is kind of like getting that foundation built.
Mhm.
Like they say, strong trunk, strong branches. So yeah, the sky really is the limit for those guys. We also got Waldo Saldana in the house. What's up, man? Your match at North versus South is one of the matches I am highly looking forward to, bro. It's going to be a good one. We just want to see more Waldo Saldana out there arm wrestling, because I think it's the same situation with Derek. Everyone's behind Derek because we all know what he's capable of. We know how gifted he is, and we're all behind him. We're like all about the Derek. For me, it's the same thing with you, Waldo. Like, we all know what you're capable of, depending on, how far you decide to take this sport. So good luck to you, bro, at North versus South. We also have my teammate Mike Linder in the house. What's up, Mike? Our 165 phenom. Good to see you. So we do have the list for the matches to release,
You got
which
my message I just sent you, right?
let me see. No. Was it on Messenger or text?
No, on this thing,
Oh, here.
on the chat, on here.
Okay. Why didn't it just like pop through? Interesting. Let's see. Let me open it up. There you are. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I never look at that. I should though. Oh no. 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 But are we gonna be
Yeah,
able to resolve that?
yeah, we will. I'm already
Yeah.
working on it right now. Yeah,
Okay. All right. We'll go over that on the list.
like an
Oh,
hour
that
ago.
stings. That
I
stings.
know, I know,
Stings really bad.
I know,
Oh man.
I know.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm definitely determined to help you find a solution for that.
Yeah.
So what else?
It almost, what it does though, it kind of, I know that a thing is a thing, but if everybody's okay, it kind of opens the door for a better opportunity for him
It could.
to go up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when we go over the list, do you want to pull up the rankings and we'll pull it up and talk about it? Or see what we can come up with?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Well, let's see. Also recently I just saw the announcement for Mindaugas Terasitis versus Corey Miller. They're gonna have they've got a match that's going to be coming out for Iron House on Neil Pickup's channel. It's, I believe, what was it, June 22nd? Yeah, I think, is this Saturday, June 22nd? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it should be out this weekend. But yeah, I can't wait to see that match. Who do you have in that match? Corey Miller or Mindaugas?
I mean, that's so hard, dude. I mean, like, you want to root for Corey because it's like a hometown hero.
Mhm.
But it is so hard to bet against Mindaugas at any weight near there.
Yeah.
Do they have any history?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Which is kind of surprising because Corey's been around and like he's competed everywhere. But
It's Arm Wars, so we're talking 6 rounds.
yeah, that's usually what the Iron House is, I think. I think they run a full six. Yeah.
It's going to be 4-2 Mindaugas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does Corey's two occur?
Oh, the first couple, because if they don't have any history and Mindaugas ain't ready for it, um, you know, that start with Corey's nuts. But what Mindaugas is so good at is readjusting and finding a different lane. And yeah, usually his matches are war of attrition matches.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And that seemed to like, the video I saw, maybe it just came out today, but it was their little face off where they're talking trash. And yeah, it seemed like Mindaugas is well aware of Corey's speed, and he thinks that it's not going to come into play as a factor in their match because he's used to people that hit, and it never is an issue, Mindaugas says, for him. And Corey's response is like, I don't think you're factoring in my speed and power like enough. And I guess his rebuttal was, how many people do you see stop my hit? So but yeah, it was a lot of interesting back and forth. I think your assessment is pretty good. That the first couple rounds, if we see a flash pin for Corey, that's when it's going to occur. And if Mindaugas can, find a way to stop the match, yeah, it might be by round 2 or 3. So, and oh, the other, we didn't talk about Derek and Travis at the Challenger Series. Um, Gosh, man, I wasn't not right off the bat. I wasn't expecting Travis to be so big. Everyone said he's been training and everything like that, but it was kind of that, crying wolf situation for me because we've all been wanting to see Travis fully come back, and there's always been kind of like the, idea that he might the last couple years, but he looked big. He looked like he was in full form. Like he's been training hard. He looked big. And I just watched Derek's live stream last night, where he talked about it from his perspective. And it sounded like Travis was able to get the three ingredients that he relies on in the setup, and it was just nothing that could be done with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got the setups that he needed, and Travis just felt different, in that position. He's a great tactician. For me, like in a
It's the
broader
same thing that
sense,
happened with John. It's going to
right?
happen again. The same thing with John when he came back. Travis is going to go right to the top, because you don't really lose that. Like, you don't lose the tendons, you don't lose the experience, you don't lose all of that. All you have to do is wake it back up, and
Yeah.
he's just proven to everybody that it is. And um, I don't think Travis is the type of guy to come back without, like, his goal has to be number one in the world. It's not just coming back for a couple matches. And I think that since all this crazy Levon stuff has been going on and everything, I think he's one of the people that everybody have talked about. But
Yeah.
what about Travis when he was in his best form? Because um, John and Travis were always the guys that went and saved America's butt. You know, they went overseas and whooped everybody that couldn't be whooped.
Yeah. Yeah. And it made me think a lot about like an aspect that I've been struggling with when it comes to, some of the greats that have been around a really long time and, were number one in the world at one time, the names you mentioned. And I hear comments from like Neil Pickup, like when they're doing their show in terms of like top form, so and so Lupkeese versus, somebody from today. And Neil is able to confidently say, like, no chance in these certain circumstances with these people, that were in their prime 20 years ago or something like that. And that's a hard one for me to wrap around. I hear that a lot, even down to pullers today. Like I'm not like really good when it comes to different people in different walks of life. I have a hard time gluing together. Like it seems like other people have an easier time saying taking two people that have never pulled before, in two opposite ends of the country or even the world, and saying this person's just not there yet, when like there's not even a lot of information. But yeah, in an even broader sense, being able to take pollers that were great a long time ago. And so, yeah, it really kind of got my head reeling seeing Travis come back after so much time off and, do his thing with Derek. Um, yeah, like, yeah, I'll disclose like a stupid moment that I had. I don't know if like one, I'm really bad with weight, but when what's his name? The fine wine, um,
Oh, Jason Merlot.
Jason Merlot, right. When he was, he might have been a little bit lighter, but when he was first coming up, there was something about him that made me want to see like Will Klingman fight him. And I brought it up to Will, and Will's like, dude, there's like no chance. Like to me, like now, I mean, this was like maybe 2 years ago. So Merlot was just really starting to come up on the scene or like be more known and everything like that. But like Will knew in an instant, he's like, dude, I am not at that guy's level. And I'm like, well, have you pulled him? And he's like, no, but yeah, there's just no way. Like I'm not at that guy's level. And I couldn't tell, is that Will just being Will, because he's like humble and stuff, or what? But I have a hard time with that stuff. A lot of people seem to be able to tell, even when like paper isn't making it a clear dominant, thing. Um, because what confuses me is like we always see like this sport doesn't we're still working on like a unified ranking, and there's always these new people coming out of the woodwork that like can surprise you against a high level puller. Um and so yeah, that's always been hard for me. Are you able to like is there some secret sauce to knowing, taking two completely different people and saying no, it's not at that level?
No, I mean, only if you have some good statistics off of it or something like that, then you can make an educated guess, right? Is the best that you'll end up with. But
Right, right.
I think a lot of those times, how do we get surprised then? How do these matches happen where we watch and we say, whoa, whoa, he just beat him. Look who he just beat. You don't understand who you just beat. How do those happen then?
Yeah, they
Right?
do. And that's the part that confuses me a
It's
little.
any given Sunday. So I think it's harder than people think to know.
Right.
Even Ingen, who people consider, you know, one of the smartest guys in arm wrestling and knowledgeable of the sport and the way his matchmaking is. Look how many matches are 3-0 on East versus West.
Right.
right? So you can't do that, I feel, because I don't know if the cane that I get tomorrow is the same cane I'll get 7 days from now.
Right.
You know,
The one thing I will take stock in is how much of a veteran the person is that's making the prediction or assessment between two people. I do believe, I mean, just in the short 4 or 5 years I've been pulling, yeah, my perception's different than it was like a year ago if I was to look at two people or what they're doing. So when someone like Neil says no chance, I'm kind of like, okay, well, there's something he knows that I obviously don't. Carl Gerke is saying about Corey Miller versus Mindaugas. Corey might actually be stronger, but Mindaugas is super technical and pulls top level guys. Corey just doesn't, he says.
can
So
we back up
yeah.
real quick about the Neil pickup thing? I love Neil, and he's like my favorite podcaster and commentator to watch with arm wrestling. But it's exactly what he said in King of the Table 1 when Devin was going against Michael Todd. He said he just didn't think he could beat him, right?
Mhm.
So I know that's different. Like, we're talking about people that haven't met in just a matchmaking setting, but not everybody knows. And we
Yeah.
never know where the other guy is. And to even go further, I think it's harder for a veteran to make that assessment,
Right.
because a brick wall is a brick wall. And when these guys don't really feel like much to you, how do you really know which one feels different? Then you're only judging off mass movement. Oh, he feels like he's moving more strength. You're better.
Right.
I think that they're sometimes it could be more clouded because of how strong they actually are.
Right.
So they might not be able to feel this guy. Just like for me and you, there's probably no difference between Devin Larratt, Todd Hutchings, Michael Todd, Matt Mast, all of these guys. We won't, if we didn't know who they were, we probably would not have no idea which one was stronger. We would
Right.
just say, dude, those guys are immovable.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, that's true. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, that's the truth. So yeah, I don't know what else we are missing. Um, yeah, before we do get into the list, as we lead into North versus South here, I do want to mention that on Derek's show last night, if anybody hasn't seen it, that watches this show, tune into Derek's last live stream that was released last night. Around an hour and 7 minutes, excuse me, an hour and 7 minutes in, he talks about the California sponsorship that we're doing and how he's going to help with that. So while he was in Florida for the Challenger series, he had a few really cool white Alpha Empire tanks, and the way it looks like is like each one he got just tagged by a bunch of signatures from the Larratt guys, Devin, Auden, Milo. I think he said Brad Grundy, Matt Mast, Chance Shaw, Travis Bajent, Derek's signing a bunch, and we are going to do a live auction at North vs. South 2 to contribute to the California sponsorship to get some last minute money in for that. Speaking of which, the link for the California sponsorship, the GoFundMe is in the description section. Would mean a lot to us if you click that link and just threw, a few bucks on there if you can, whatever you can afford to chip in. It's going to support two California arm wrestlers to help fund them in getting out of state and arm wrestling. A way to give back, to the people that are really trying to represent the state. But yeah, if you can contribute to that, but to get a little
At
closer
least the
to our
people that
goal.
are, at least the people that are coming,
Yep.
right? At least the people that are coming to be part of the event.
Mm-hmm.
I need to, stress again, there's no entry fee. There's no fee for any arm wrestling or anything that's going on that day. This is all from us to the community getting together. That's all this is. We have awards. We have a championship belt. We have special awards that are going out. We have hammer. All kinds of cool things that are going to be happening. We're not asking nothing. So take a few bucks and pay it forward instead of paying an entry fee. Pay it forward and help somebody else that might not be able to go to an event and be part of that cause, and help somebody that might not be able to experience the stuff you already have, or that we already have. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. There's really cool custom awards at the event for every match. Like I said, championship belt. We're doing raffles, all kinds of different stuff. And all we ask is that everybody just comes and be a part of it and enjoy yourself. And
Right.
this sponsorship fund is not mandatory. Nobody's obligated to anything at all. It's just a thought.
Absolutely. Those are great, really, really great points. Even the after party, man. We're gonna have food there. We're gonna have drinks there. A beautiful house to hang out at. We can even, I'm sure we'll be able to find space for people that need a place to crash the night of the event. But yeah, we decided we're not going to charge anybody for the B&B, the art after party or anything like that. There's a lot that you guys can take advantage of with this event. So yeah, chipping in for that good cause would be amazing. So we will be accepting live donations the day of the event, but those shirts that are all signed, not only by greats, but a lot of up and comers that, it's a good investment, to get in on that. Guys that are coming up in this sport and the future that they have. Yeah, we'll be auctioning that off, those shirts off, and we'll go to that. Thank you, Benjimac, who's in the house, for posting the link in the chat. And Drew mentioned something about not being too happy with the GoFundMe company or a link or whatever. Number one, if anybody has issues with, navigating, it's pretty easy for me, but the only issue that I had is making sure to remove the tip thing. I guess that's how they like earn money, is if you tip GoFundMe, but you can make that 0 and only donate to the cause. Throw $5 just to the cause and be done with it. But if somebody doesn't want to do that, hit me up and hit me or Josh up. You can like Zell us directly, hit us up on Messenger or on Instagram or something like that. And on Facebook, I'm the same as the channel name, Kane Fontecchio. And we'll get that money directly into the sponsorship. None of it's going to us. I know we're putting plenty of money into it ourselves. So let's see. Yeah, so definitely help with that. That would be amazing. But I'm just stoked that Derek did that. I think it'll help generate some extra bucks for the people that win that sponsorship. And
Yeah, real quick, speaking
yeah,
of that, I do want to shout out a couple people right now. Serving First to South in a big way. I want to shout out first and foremost Kane Fontecchio. Thank you for everything that you've done, and you're making this thing much bigger than could be expected. Derek Smith and Bridget, thank you both for all of your help. Jamie Sheldon, thank you, sir. Greg Sharp and the World Series of Arm Wrestling, thank you very much. And Bailey at Crusader Brewing, the home of the event. They are helping in a big way, letting us use the venue to do this. And so, yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of thanks and recognition to all of you. This would not be as cool as it is without you guys all getting together to help.
We're all following your lead, Josh. We thank you. We thank you for everything you're doing, brother. I think that's that's a good opportunity. You brought up Bailey, who just gave the green light for our next year's North vs. South, right? North vs. South 3. Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
April what?
April 12th, 2025.
April 12th.
That's
2025.
Yep.
10 months away. Get ready.
Yeah, man. What an amazing thing. Like we still scheduled the North vs. South 2 like months in advance, but the year was still that busy. It was so hard to find a summer slot to fit it into anywhere between spring and summer. That was extremely difficult. But It is stamped right now, here and now. Well, yeah, as soon as we get the flyer out for this, we're actually gonna be putting out a few flyers for North vs. South 2. We're just gonna make one right away for North vs. South 3 and put it out. Speaking of which, the list that we're releasing right now of all the matches, this is the finalized list minus 2 potential matches that, you know, have been requested, have been worked on since the start that we want to be there, but they've been invested in for such a long time. We're not gonna, you know, just let those go. We're gonna see if we and we've allocated a room for those. But so with the exception of those 2 matches, what we have is it, and we're not accepting more. Just because there's so many, you know, and we've got the round robin this year as well. So I bring that up because if anybody likes what North vs. South is about and everything, hit us up for next year. Get in on it early. If you want a match at North vs. South, let us know and we could see if there's something that could be set up, or if you just want to be a part of helping with the event or something like that. But yeah, this is going to be a really good one. It's going to be a good one. Okay, I'm going to pull up the list. Let's see. A lot of people saying nice thing. Donate. Oh, look at that bicep. Look at it.
Skinny.
Okay, let me pull it up here. So there's a lot of interesting things that are going on with this list. Okay. Let's see. Should I blow this up a little bigger? Or can I? I really can't. Is that kind of big enough to see?
Yeah, I can see it just fine. Can you see me still when you pull that up?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I can't see you anymore. What do I need to do so I can still see you? Or is that not possible?
The grid view or in your options or something. There should be something where you can change your view. Right now, you probably have it set to show active speaker video. There's another one to show thumbnail. You
That's
got
all
it?
right. No, that's okay. If I start touching buttons, I'll end up logging out. So I'll just stay here.
Okay, so
Okay,
the first
cool,
thing,
cool.
yeah, what's that?
Nothing cool. I just love it. I'm already looking at it, smiling. It's welterweight,
Welterweight.
buddy.
That's the first thing that people are probably noticing right now is yes, that there is a welterweight. So Josh and I discovered through trying to work out the list for the 145 round robin, right? We're like, what, you know, what weight class do we call that? We're trying to like break everybody up on the list by, you know, somewhat weight class groups.
Because
And
what were we calling it?
what's that?
What were we calling it at first? The round robin? We were calling it
We were
featherweight,
calling
right?
it featherweight, but in every other sport, fighting sport, featherweight is more like a 120, I think.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
very, very light. So the lightweights is what's 145. And we in the arm wrestling sport, we've been calling the 165s lightweights. And in all the fight sports, the 165s are welterweight. So this is a happy day for me as a 165 guy. You can't call me a lightweight anymore. I'm different. I'm a welterweight.
I'm different. I love it. I'm different.
So we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with that, you know. If anybody wants to jump on board with that, it would make sense because honestly, like I think the only reason why we haven't gotten on board with it in this sport, to do similar weight classes, is a couple reasons. One, our sport typically, at least in our state, doesn't seem to want to go below the 165. So that would be, I guess, the lightweight, like the lightest weight. But now that at least in our state, we're getting enough of these 145s and lighter to start accommodating weight classes for them, yeah, we can start doing a lot more similar weight classes to other fight sports. So we don't have on the list, you'll notice, the lightweight. So we're calling the 145s lightweight. We don't have the lightweights on this list. The lowest weight in the list is the welterweight, the 165s. The reason why is of the all of the 145s are allocated to the round robin. And it won't be a yearly thing that we're doing. This is just a special thing, and it's primarily to birth that ranking for the 145 weight class, a top 10 for it, and start getting that ball rolling so we can have more tournaments and everything like that. Motivated to go ahead and do a 145-pound weight class. So doing this and successfully creating that top 10, the job will have been done for that. It's a very special thing for us. But yeah, the thing that we've been talking about is really to just stick with the super matches going forward, but we are going all out with this round robin this year. So we will switch over to the round robin list of competitors after this. But starting with the 165s, the welterweight, very interesting match. So a lot of you might know that Caleb Armbender had to back out of his match with Michael Brown. Let me spell Michael like Michael, because that's how he lists his name. And
Mike Brown.
that's right. So yeah, Caleb has some things going on and has to take some time, understandably so. And Chad Shelby has stepped in to fight Michael Brown right-handed. And they're also going to do left hand at the after party. I've confirmed that with both of them. So Chad
You got
Shelby.
him on here right-handed twice on your
in
list.
this list? Oh, okay, good, because that's a big group. Thank you. Let me make sure they are in the after party matches.
I'm gonna go grab something 1 second.
Okay, there they are. Okay. Yep. So let's see. Chad Shelby. To tell you a little bit about Chad Shelby, Josh knows a little bit more about him than I do, but I'll do my best to explain it. Yeah, he's one of the top guys and one of the top 165 guys in Hawaii. You might have watched ET fight Chad in, I believe it was a tournament in Hawaii when ET went out there, and apparently Chad beat ET. He's beat okay, he moved out here. So now he's in the Bay Area. He's a NorCal guy, and he's beating a lot of people up here. I've been hearing a lot about Chad's hand, really, really strong hand. And Chad wants to see where he's at. He wants to see where he's at with everybody out here in California. And Michael Brown is ranked 165, and it's a great place to start with. What do you think about that match, Josh?
I think that anybody, okay, that calls out Michael Brown, they better be ready, first of all, right? That's a bad dude. Secondly, Chad, nobody knew about him when he came to Patterson the other day. And he came out there on the scene with a bang. I mean, he ran through his class. He pulled like 3 or 4 classes that day. In the open 165, he only finished second to Caleb. And so, and there was a lot of people there. I mean, Alwyn was there, Chewy was there, Santino was there, Danny Dowler was there. Lots of people were there. And everybody at the end of that day knew who Chad Shelby was. And the murmurs throughout the Armbender garage at the after party that we do after Patterson was, hey, this guy Chad is special, right? And so he's definitely he's one of those very strong hand guys, very, very, very strong grip, very strong cup. And the frame is a lot different. It's kind of a David and Goliath match. If you're looking at the frame, Chad's a little bit shorter and, well, quite a bit shorter, which means that, shorter arm and things like that. But he also went against several people that day that were, quite a bit bigger than him. So he seems to be proficient enough at the table to get to his spot. And I think that if Mike underestimates him, it could be, a really good match, a really good war. I think if Mike goes in there prepared, like, he was going to face Caleb and he takes this guy super serious, then I would think that Mike, should win this. But it's still going to be an amazing match. I mean, the guy, we only got to see this guy perform one time, and now he has this on his mind, and that's all that's on his mind. So for all we know, he comes in there and surprises everybody again, right? But it's a good opportunity, and kudos to Mike for being willing to pull a guy that has never seen, doesn't know his pedigree or anything like that. So really, really cool. I'm excited for that one.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I pulled up the chat on my phone since we're doing the screen share. I can't see it there. Danny Dowler does confirm that Chad is a beast, and he actually has Chad in that match. In regards to what you said, Josh, I have not, with any super match that Mike Brown has had, no matter who it is, even if he doesn't know anything about him, like, he takes every match extremely serious. So message to Chad Shelby if you're watching, bring your A game, come solid, come focused. It's if you want to test yourself with Mike Brown, yeah, he's going to be coming for blood, like, for sure. And that's one of the biggest things I love about Mike. For his preparation for a match, he's a very, very serious competitor, and you're going to have to be just as serious. So, what else do we have in the chat?
Mitchell Stone and Daniel Villalobos.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a great one. I'm always talking about Mitchell Stone. I had history with him as being like one of the first guys I ever pulled in a tournament, and I've always known how talented he is. And so we really wanted to get a match set up for him, but he's a tough one to kind of set up a match for. And any of the people that are competitive in the 165s that he wanted, I wasn't able to get. I would have taken a match with Mitchell, like, for sure, like 100%, if that wasn't trying to be set up after I had already confirmed a couple matches. But yeah, we had to Daniel Villalobos. He's a little heavier. He's more of a 185 guy. I think he might be a little lighter. I think he's gunning for 175 for their match, but that's why it won't be a ranking match. But it'll be a good. Daniel's my teammate. He's strong. He reminds me of Justin Webb in the fact that he's one of those squirrely guys where someone will put him in a bad position, and before they know it, he's squirreling right into, something different and has you on his side of the table. And Mitchell Stone is just rock strong. That dude's very, very, very strong. So that's going to be a good one to look out for. They're going to be going left hand and right hand. Now, the first ranking match on this list is my teammate Mike Linder versus Alwin Kaburi, left-handed.
That's a big match right there. Alwin, if I believe Alwin is number 3 in California on the left hand.
Yep.
And so big opportunity for Mike to come out, and this is one of those situations. Like, Mike knew on the California scene has came in with such a force that he's one of those where you think that he could just do anything he wants to, right?
Right.
If he wants to get there. And their styles are so contrasting. I mean, Alwyn relies on his off the go insane hit and speed, which is just, it's incredible, right? And he kind of reminds me over the top. The guy Mad Dog Madison,
Mm-hmm.
the one who's like, rah, rah, rah. He reminds me the same thing. He does all those crazy screams and yells while he's in the middle of a match. He does not go down without just a grueling fight. Um, I think it's going to be a great match. I don't know how good Mike is on the left. If he's anywhere near what his right is, then it's going to be a great match. Yeah, huge opportunity. Huge opportunity.
How's Alwyn's lever? Does he have a long lever or a shorter lever?
Um, Kind of like yours. He has a longer torso but shorter levers.
Interesting. Gosh, I can't
Yeah.
wait to pull that guy one day. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm looking for. I have no idea what's going to happen in that match. I know exactly where Mike's at.
It's a nutty match. It's a
Yeah.
nutty match.
Well, it'll be a pleasure getting to meet Alwyn, and I'm definitely gonna make some time to pull him on the after pull tables. And yeah, I want to get to know that guy more. I've never seen him in a tournament. We've never crossed paths. But yeah, what a interesting match this is gonna be. Adam Eddie versus myself, left-handed. I know very little about Adam, so we're just gonna have fun with that match and see what happens. But I'm taking him seriously and training the left hand just as much as the right. Um, so the other ranking match on this is my match with Chewy right hand, Chewy Espindola. And Chewy
Yeah.
is currently, what is
Number
he?
5 or 6.
He's actually number
6.
7. It looks like he got bumped down by Alwyn and Patrick Yacaro.
Not on the right hand.
On the right hand, apparently Alwyn must have gotten a win on him. Yeah, because Alwyn was actually either not on the right hand list or he was just much lower down. But he just broke into that. What event was in that would have been August? Was that UAL in Anaheim?
No, that's Patterson. You're talking about June 1st, right?
Well, that's Patrick Yacaro, but oh, here it is. Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm looking at Chewy. Gotcha. Okay, so at Patterson, Alwyn must have beat Chewy right-handed.
No, he didn't.
How did,
Uh, so that's interesting how that works. But anyways, Chewy's first match was against Caleb. He lost to Caleb, and then his second match was against Patrick, and he did lose to Patrick.
okay.
I'm
Did
gonna have to get right. I'm gonna have to pause the video for 1 second. I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back.
okay. Yeah, I wonder if Alwyn came back and beat Patrick after Patrick beat Chewy, and if that, you know, I don't know. We'll have to talk to the guys that do the rankings and see what happened there, but I'm sure it's all legit. Um, but yeah, I know that recently, yeah, I think yeah, I think Josh was right. He was right around number 5 and just bounced down to 7. That's how fast it can happen. And it's going to be a lot of that after North versus South, a lot of moving around in the rankings. There's a lot of ranking matches on this list. Let's see. So we have Benjimac versus River Welch. River Welch is also in the chat. What's up, River? Um, So that's going to be a really interesting match as well. I'm looking forward to that match. I know Benji, we train all the time. Benji's strong. A lot of people know him for his flop wrist, but you know, he is strong in the hook or his sticky spots. River has been looking really good up there in the videos I've been seeing up north. And I've been hearing that he's made a lot of big strides. Not only that, for the vote for the nomination of the California arm wrestlers that are going to be sponsored, he is the leader in that. So there's going to be a final vote in person at the event itself for the people there who think deserves it out of the final 5 from the nominations. But right now, River Welch has the top vote. But then we will take the next 4 from the north underneath him, and they will be grouped together, and there will be one final vote live at the event for the north person that gets sponsored. And the same thing will occur for the Southern California arm wrestlers. The leader for that, last I checked, was Grace Bear. So she's in the lead. And there's a few people from the South as well that will be nominated to be voted on for the South. And let's move down. I know Josh is going to want to talk about this. So, yeah, we've got the middleweight. Screen share this a bit. Let's see what is it. Oh, interesting. Josh just sent me something while he's away. Let me see, and it's pretty damn cool. Okay, I have to stop the screen share for a minute so I can pull this up and show you guys. Let me email it to myself. Oh, you got 2 things. Okay. Ooh. Oh, no way. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Attach a couple photos. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so this is some of the awards that's being run for North vs. South. Um yeah, Josh is doing amazing things, everybody. The fact that y'all don't have to pay to do this event and have a great time and these awards, man. This is really, really cool, man. Okay, here we go. Let me screen share this. Got you back with me? Okay, I'm about to screen share it.
You can see me?
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. So this is the medal, right?
Yeah.
South.
Yep.
So basically everybody that wins a super match is gonna get one of these medals, right?
Is going to get one of those, and they're about as thick as my thumb, and I don't have small thumbs.
Yes, yes.
They're very thick, very heavy duty. Yeah, just trying to get them so we can get you guys some unique awards that are cool. And again, we're paying homage to Crusader. That is their brewing company logo shield that we used as the metal template.
Absolutely. I don't know if y'all can tell from this how thick those bad boys are. You could tell they've got some weight to them. Elsner sent me this. It's just the raw metal, but that is insane. So you want me to show the other
Yeah.
picture too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just the faceplate of the championship belt, but that's what the championship belt for the round robin will look like right there.
Amazing. So the winner
Boom.
of the 145-pound lightweight round robin. Love it. And can you explain the format? How we're going to make this work within a primarily super match event?
Yeah, you mean for the round robin specifically?
Right, just for the round robin, how you're going to interweave it with the super match event and also the format of the round robin.
Yeah, so I think what we've concluded is that we have we have 18 to 20 guys. We're going to start the round robin. That's going to be the first thing that happens at North versus South. It's going to start. Um, we are going to start it as a bracket, just like a tournament, and it's going to be triple elimination. And what we're going to do is through each level, we're going to go through part of the round robin until we get to the semifinals, right? We'll have an intermission and go to a couple super matches to give them a break. That way they have a decent break in between the semifinals. When we get to the semifinals, the matches will become best of three, which means the person will have to win two wins against each opponent. Then we will get down to the finals. We will have another intermission between the finals with a couple more super matches, the youth matches, or whatever we're figuring out in there, and then we will go back to the finals. That way, the final competitors have enough rest, and the final match for the belt will be a best of five.
Absolutely. Yep, it's perfect. Yeah, I love that. It's going to be great. Yeah, that couldn't be smoother. I really like that. Before we jump back into the list, because we're down to the middleweights now,
Okay.
let me just catch up on the chat a little bit here. So what do we have? Oh, what's up to the Caribbean Bull is in the house. He's gonna have a match in this. Let's see. The Drew says sweet event and good cause. Benjimac wants to know, will some be raffled? I'm assuming he's referring to the shirts, the signed shirts. And we decided strictly auction for the shirts, right? Um,
Um,
there's
you
a
know,
few, so we could do a raffle,
I'm
but we
open.
want,
I'm open to. Yeah, I'm open to anything. I mean, why not make two of them be raffles and then two of them be auctioned? I mean, that's no problem. It's all no matter what happens. If it's a dollar for a raffle ticket, it's still going to go to the sponsorship. If it's an auction, it's still going to go to the sponsorship. The only reason we are doing it is to go to the sponsorship to give to an athlete or to
right.
the two athletes that we're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
obviously, we did set ourselves a goal. It's not like I said, it's not an obligation, it's not a requirement. We like to shoot high, and see where we land, but either way this money will be to sponsor athletes to go to an event of their choice, or something like that. So regardless, any way that we do this, it's all going to go to help. So we could do it a couple different ways, and that'd be awesome. As long as there's engagement. So yeah, I mean, a raffle would probably be cool. That way, it's just a random person that can win. No problem. That's what we did last year with the table. So yeah, I'm sure that we're going to have some mystery seat things and stuff, like whoever's sitting in this seat or whatever. For all you know, there's a number under your seat when you get there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think we should do a couple of the shirts for auction. At least maybe one shirt for a raffle. We can maybe do two. Above anything, I want to see the most amount of money possible go to the sponsorship, go to the athletes that win. And yeah, it's kind of a question. Would the raffle be more, or would the auction be more? But in terms of the raffle, I like what you said about engagement. It's getting more of the community involved, I think, than an auction would. Yeah, because a lot more people can afford a cheap raffle ticket. So
We
let's
might want to ask Leo Landeros if he wants to come and set up a booth for the straps too. Um,
yep.
Speaking of engagement, the more arm wrestling necessity boosts that we have set up there, and we are not asking anything to do that. We don't need any payment or any free straps or anything or any free material. But the more of an expo type feeling that we can make this, right, to where the spectator gets to walk around and be engaged with different things and workshops or training seminars on the side, whatever it is, it's going to make it beautiful. So I'd love to get Leo out there, bring some straps and have them available for
Shirts too.
people, some
Yep.
shirts. Yeah, exactly. Anything that we can have merch that's there, it's going to make it just much more engaging for the spectator. Because if you remember last time, it was a lot of family members that were coming with the athletes to watch them. And family members always want to, oh, let's get a shirt so we can remember this event that we were at or whatever, right? But this all is just going to help the community keep growing. So if anybody wants to come and set up a booth, please do.
Yeah, still to this day, North versus South 1 was the only event where I saw kids that I've been to, that I saw kids running around asking competitors to sign their straps. That was bitching.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And who else? I've got a little catch. We got Johnny Dang in the house. What's up, Johnny Dang? Good to see you.
Dang, Johnny.
Dang, man. And let's see what else we got. Orion Armwrestling. Tommy's in the house. What's up, Tommy? Caribbean Bowl. Let's see. What do we got? Jake Collins is in the house. Says, what event you think you're gonna want to go to? River. Oh, he's talking to River. Okay. Mike Linder in the house says, I haven't lost to Caleb in the 165-pound
Hey,
right hand class in Cali. And look where I
yeah,
am. Just saying.
yeah. How much you come for? Why are you doing that to me?
Interesting.
Maybe I have.
So he's talking about the rankings. So it looks like yeah, I mean, you beat him at
Like
two
with what?
different tournaments
Mustard, a little bit of
and
relish.
actually won the tournament. So yeah, we've got to maybe look at that. We'll see. But definitely anybody that has an issue with rankings, I'm not like directly involved with it. We try to help Josh and I with it, but it's very community driven. So they do their best to collect all the information from events and everything like that. But yeah, like if there's something, like reach out to Caleb or Christian directly if there's certain dates or anything that you can dispute in regards to the rankings. I'm certain they will sort it out with you. If they have an argument of why you shouldn't, they will, pose that and see if there's an understanding or agreement that can be made. But it is 100% true. Mike Linder, since he's been a Californian, has been just killing the 165s. He's been winning right-handed, everything. There's only a couple names, I believe, on the list who he just hasn't had a chance to maybe arm wrestle yet. So Mike's down here at 8. Now, yeah, because so yeah, the January, that was the California
Oh,
UAL. You won that.
oh, dang, Kane. I just seen that, bro. Chewy and Mike would be such a good match.
Oh, it would be a good one. It would be a good one. Yeah. But it won't make sense, after I beat Chewy, because Mike's better than me.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but Mike still needs to pull David in a tournament, and he needs to pull Vazgen and Karen. He's pulled all these other guys. I don't think he's pulled Alwyn yet, but there's a good chance, Mike, that if you're pulling the the qualifier for World Series of Arm Wrestling next weekend in Riverside, you'll probably get to pull David. I know he was there at the Locked and Loaded a couple years ago. And I think he was at the finals. Yeah, right here, November of 2023. So you'll probably get a chance to pull David at that one. And I think Karen would probably show up. Wouldn't be surprised if Vosgin pulls it too. Oh, hey, my messages are showing. So moving on to the middleweight. Wait, hold on. Let me catch up on these chats here. Let's see. Now it's the advantage of the middle school here because Jake Collins says, I'd like to congratulate my boy Matt Silva for cracking into the top 10. All right. Heck yeah. Top 10 in the super heavyweight.
Big Mac.
That's right. Yeah, coming out of
Big
nowhere.
Mac.
He's been in his dungeon training and came out and kicked some ass. Beat what's his name? Israel. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you remember, Israel is the one who beat Tony Tomlinson last year at North versus South. So,
yep, I do.
Super formidable opponent.
That's when I realized what, where Israel's at. You're looking for a good one. How long does the sponsor? Okay. Okay, so Jake Collins is saying you better be looking for a good one. How long does the sponsorship last? Lots of good tournaments have already happened this year. So I'm sure there usually is some pretty good ones towards the end of the year.
We're sending them to East versus West 14 in Florida. Wake up, Jake.
There you go. Yeah, but this could be for 2025. It's gonna be a big deal to Josh and I to make sure that money goes to arm wrestling, out of state or even out of the country if they choose to go it that way. And really help the winner find a good event to do that with. So that's what it's 100% about. We just don't want to pick and choose which event it's going to be. We're all on different paths. We have different goals. We want it to mean something to that arm wrestler. What event or promotion that maybe they stand behind. There might be some that are like, oh, I don't want to compete there. So at least that should be up to them. All right, so I think I'm all caught up here. And the middleweight, we've got a legendary match here. Mike McGraw versus Scott Wynn.
Mike McGraw versus Scott Wynn. Let that sink in for a moment. Between the two of them, we're talking about 80 plus years of arm wrestling experience.
That's true. That's a real interesting way to look at it, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Multiple world championships, multiple national championships, multiple team world championships. Between the two of these guys, I mean, there's nothing that has not been won. They both have WAF world championships on their wall. They both have been to the biggest and the best of all the tournaments. They've been there with all of them. This is, I won't say it's kind of similar to the Travis Derek thing in where Mike has not been active in so long, but when he was, he was just he was very, 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 very good. He, like, even if you look at the biography done about him, I mean, he started the Armbenders. They're the oldest team in the United States, and there's a reason why their name is Armbenders. I mean, Mike is known to have one of the best top rolls of all time. So, like, when you just think about that, and then you think about Scott and where he came from. I mean, his brother Jack Wynn, number 2 in the world, only to Johnny Walker for forever, back and forth with him, and a lot of the top guys in there with Brzezinski and them guys. So this is arm wrestling
legend at its best. And either way, no matter what happens, we all win from being able to watch this match.
Definitely. And Mike McGraw, he stopped. I mean, he hasn't been competing for a little while, right? But he's been training. He runs all these practices. He never really stopped training, right?
Well, you see, that's the thing. So I can tell you this: since I've started arm wrestling, right, I've maybe seen Mike arm wrestle a total of an hour in several years. Most of the time, he just hosts the practice and he's hanging out and talking to people and stuff like that. It's super rare that Mike gets on the table until about 2 months ago when he set up this match with Scott. But yeah, super rare. And then also, it's kind of one of those things where you got to do like the rite of passage. You have to show up over there like 20 times over the course of a year or two before any of the guys take you serious enough to, you know what I mean? Like, hey, let's start training. But yeah, if there's a guy that's coming, he has a match coming up or something like that. Yeah, Mike is always going over stuff with everybody. So it's not like, yeah, it's not like he's just untrained. It's just that Mike, when he took off years ago, it was from, some serious injuries. And this will be like his first time since those injuries, having any type of real competition. So, yeah, just hoping everything holds up for him. He's a lot of all of this. I mean, the first person I had talked to about anything about North versus South was McGraw. I mean, he was the one who was like, it'd be so cool if we could get all the South guys to come meet us and we could have go back and forth and have matches. And that's where it started. Right. So, you just want him to get out there and keep getting out there, and hopefully he's got enough back under the arsenal where he can give Scott a match, because Scott is a bad dude. He is a bad dude, and he came and cleaned house at Patterson the other day, and he showed why he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
And this is on Scott's good arm. It's on his better arm. So if we remember last year, Scott beat Aaron Blevins 3-0 on the right arm. So
right.
There's a reason why the only people above Scott in California are Ole, Bresh, and Luke Kent. Those are the only people above Scott on the right arm.
Well, it's good to see that the spark is reignited with Mike McGraw. I mean, that thing better be reignited. You're going against Scott Wynn, man. He's been out there killing it. But I'm really glad to see Mike McGraw wanting to come back in and just go for it. We got Jeff Ray here versus Jeff the Ripper Ray versus my teammate Brandon Sewell. Brandon's relatively new in the sport. I believe the first time I saw him at a practice, I think it was like for him his second or third, but he came to our Lake Gregory practice last year, which was I think in the fall, like early fall. So less than a year. The dude's, yeah, he's been pulling less than a year. But very, very, very strong. There's lanes I would not want to give him now. When he first started, I knew he was strong, but that I think I would have had him in most lanes. Now there's lanes I would not want to go with Brandon. So I'm really interested to see where this goes with Jeff Ray. So Brandon is definitely pulling up in terms of skill and experience for this one. And then the next following match here for Jeff the Ripper Ray on the left hand is a ranking match. This one, Jeff is definitely pulling up. He is he's going big. He's going big here with Scott Wynn on the left. And I love that about Jeff Ray. I love Jeff Ray. Yeah, I love his attitude about the sport, and the drive and willingness to reach up to not be afraid of a loss going after a win. I think that's some cool stuff right there. What do you think about that match, Josh? You pull with
Well,
both guys all the time.
yeah, yeah. Um, Jeff is an up and comer for sure. Jeff has a couple minor things that I think that he has to work on in order to not blow up so fast in super matches, right? When you're going against a guy as talented and technical as Scott Wynn, you have to make sure that all those things are dialed in. And after his match last week with Caleb, you've seen very clearly that was pretty much the case. Jeff held on too much and squeezed too much, and that gave Caleb everything that he needed. As soon as Jeff stops gripping up so much before the go and spending all that energy here, and he starts to float his hand a little bit so his hand can float over the top of the opponent, he's going to be very hard to deal with. Hopefully he makes those adjustments before July 20th.
Right. There's a few things you said about that stand out to me. First, I want to jump back to North versus South. One, when I had my match with Jeff Ray, the one I really struggled with Jeff was left hand, and I think that's what they're doing. But what's really interesting is, I believe Jeff pinned me the first 2 rounds, maybe. And
Yeah.
it was Scott Wynn that hopped in my corner and told me how to beat Jeff. He came in and gave me a little bit of advice to make an adjustment for how to fight Jeff. So that right there is a little bit interesting to me, of how that's going to turn out. But over this last year, Jeff has gotten a lot stronger. I've noticed he's a lot more connected, stronger. He's becoming more technical. And the other thing that stood out to me about what you said is the holding on thing. So Scott is also one of those guys that likes to hold on. He hates the straps. He's
after
not,
after the go.
yeah, and he's
Scott
not
holds on after the go. Yeah.
he's not much, he's not much of a climber. But both of those dudes fight like hell for height. So we might have a very high posting hand war on our hands. And I'd even be more curious to see what happens if, just for the sake of getting into a match without slipping in that position, if those guys fall into a hook.
If they fall into a hook, it's over, man. It's over. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
All right.
Yeah, Jeff better not go inside with Scott.
Yeah.
Not right now. I mean, until he starts trading the inside for a while, he needs to fight Scott's hand, stay away from his hand, but also don't squeeze onto Scott's hand. So when that go happens, you're under his hand. That's the biggest thing. Jeff has incredible strength and his hand is super strong. The mistakes that he's making are so obvious, though, for a veteran especially, that they're going to exploit it, right? And I've been talking with Jeff for quite a while. Like, when we set up every single match with him, I tell him what I think, and the only problem is he has a big old muscle right between his ears, and it's too thick to get through. But no, he's gonna find his own. He's gonna find his spot and realize that he doesn't have to. I explained to him the last time after the Caleb match. I told him it's kind of like Levon, like how he pulls Devin. He lets Devin do all that playing around and doing all this. If Levon was squeezing on the whole time, Devin would win, and he would gas him out so quickly. But Levon knew that he couldn't do that. You cannot do that. You can't do that.
And I mean, if they're closing your thumbs and closing your hand and you want to grip then at that last moment, that's one thing. But gripping on the whole time, you're only giving them an opportunity to take advantage. And that's what I want to see Jeff change. If he does, then we can really see that incredible strength on display.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Let's see. So Johnny Dang says Brandon now. Poof. There's a reason why they call him the prodigy. So referring to Brandon Sewell versus Jeff Ray. Yes. Jeff, do not sleep. Do not sleep on my teammate Brandon. Brandon's he's good. He's good. He's strong. That yeah, there's a reason why I thought of him for you. We've got Eric Linville in the house. What's up, Eric? And he's asking if Vadim beat Scott left hand at North South.
Last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so let's get back to it. We've got Mike Linder versus Vince Pawlowski. And just the same as Mitchell Stone, Mike's a tough one to find a match for, man. He's beating everybody in the 165s, and the two people that he hasn't pulled that I mentioned in the list, not Corinne, maybe he could be included too, but David Vazgen. And I don't know if Corinne pulls super matches, but you just don't see those guys do super matches. That nobody's beating Mike, and he still needs to pull those guys. So we had a hard time finding a 165 match for him, and we went up to Vince Pawlowski, which is a big ask. Vince tell us a little bit about Vince, Josh.
Well, he's an OG arm bender, and he's the oldest of three generations of arm wrestling at the Arm Benders Garage. His son is the Spartan, who's a very well-known arm wrestler that's been around for 10 plus years. He was dominating in the 165, 185 class years ago. Now he weighs a lot more, so he's pulling a different class. And then his grandson as well, Jalen. And they've all been pulling forever. Vince is a very unique puller. The best way I could describe him is he's a little bit taller than Caleb, with a longer hand and a longer arm. And his cupping move, it feels like slicing into your bone.
Wow.
It's just a very unique feeling. Like the way he pulls is his own way. His son pulls like him, but it's their own way, and it's super hard to deal with. And he's very explosive. But yeah, Vince been around the game for well over a decade, probably in closer to the 2-decade mark. And I mean he's incredible, super strong hand. It is a big ask, but I don't think it's as much of a stretch as we might think because of how good Linder is. So this could go either way. It could go either way. It really could. It's not out of the question that Mike comes in there and wins the match. And it's not out of the question that Vince does. I think most likely we see a back and forth war with a lot of intensity because Vince is a very intense puller. And Linder kind of has that edge to him, which is, super kind of almost eccentric and mysterious that he has about him. But I think they can turn into some really good antics and, tussling at the table, as far as like with the grip and the setup and getting excited. I really see them both getting into it. I see it being one of the most entertaining matches of the day.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see someone pull that out of Mike. He's yeah. Yeah, eccentric is a good way to put it, but he's usually a pretty um what would you say, calm cucumber? Let's see. We're moving into the light.
I'm listening to you. I'm just gonna mute it so I can dump my trash.
Okay. So we're moving into the light heavyweight. Now, like I said earlier, the weight classes are all weird. We're kind of going off of fight weight classes here, and some of them are kind of exhibition matches. So when you're looking at like Mike Linder, who's a 165, I believe Vince Pulowski is a 185. We're listing Mike under the heavier weight here that he is pulling. And so welterweight, 165. The middleweight we're allocating for your primarily like 185-ish guys. And then now we are moving into the light heavyweight, which is going to be your 205. So first on the list with the 205 light heavyweight, we've got 7 matches. Chuck DeJong versus Jake Andrade, right-handed. Now, Chuck, he trains with ET over there in Alpha Empire East. You guys might have seen him in a lot of the videos. He's the older guy, handlebar mustache in the hat. And Jake Andrade, I don't know. I've seen Chuck pull a lot. Jake Andrade, I don't know a lot about. Help us out with that, Josh. What do you think about this
Here's
match?
the thing. I don't really know anything about him either, except for what he told me, that he's a middle of the pack puller and he was really interested in having a match.
Got it. Okay. I love it. You can't ask for more than that. And these are the matches that I have a lot of interest in, the ones that can't predict, where you're just kind of waiting to get some information from the match itself. That's where a lot of the surprises can happen. So we've got so this is interesting. So Vince Pawlowski on the right hand. So we've got him listed in the 185s, the middleweights. But here, yeah, because he's pulling up. So Mike was pulling up to pull Vince, and now Vince is pulling up to pull my teammate Brandon Romo, left hand.
That
Did I lose you? You're frozen, Josh. Yeah, Brandon's getting he's getting really good. Yeah, he's been doing great. We always knew he was really. I think you're coming back a little bit, Josh. But yeah, Brandon was kind of getting his feet under him with competition at first, and yeah, things are really starting to click with him. He's doing really well. Um, as far as I know with his showings, he's been starting to kill it in his weight class in amateurs and even in the pro category. Was it second place he got at the Arizona State, I believe it was? But yeah, Brandon's doing really good. So that'll be an interesting match. Brandon's relatively new, but doing great. Vince has been around a little while. We've got Sean Forshee versus Ahmad Hamdi. And yeah, Ahmad's my teammate. And I got a lot of Alpha Empires on here that wanted matches. So you're gonna see a lot of Alpha Empires there. And yeah, versus Sean Forshee. Ahmad is also relatively new, but surprisingly very naturally athletic and taking to the sport really, really well. Um, that's one thing that stood out for me with Ahmad is seeing how quickly he has taken to adjustments, decent form for how long he's been pulling. If you first met him and pulled with him, you would think that he had been pulling a lot longer than he has, and he is strong. Great guy too. Okay, you're starting to come back. I can see you. Yeah, we need to find a better spot for you. Before we move too deep into these matches, until you have something clear, maybe I will well, I don't really have catching up to do in the chat. Maybe I do. Let's see. A lot of talking to each other. Jake Collins says, if I was European, I'd say I'm 25% stronger. Let's see. There's water in the ocean. Yeah, they're doing a lot of funny talking to each other in the chat. Let's see.
That's what you're talking about.
What's that?
You were talking about a match right now.
Okay, so I made it down to Sean Forshee versus Ahmad Hamdi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what can you tell us about Sean Forshee? No, we're losing you again, man.
Well,
Oh, there you are.
there you go. Wait, am I frozen again?
Yeah, you're coming through broken. You're out there getting lost in your 10,000 acres. We need to find your tower. Let's see. Go climb a mountain, man. Find the tallest walnut tree. Or almond tree? Is that? I always forget what orchards you got there. Yeah, we got some good ones in here. Chris Zawacki versus Matt Hughes. Chris Zawacki, like Jeff Ray, is just like, I'm going big. I'm going big here. Yeah. Taking on a big match, left hand and right-handed.
All right,
ranking.
I'm getting off. I'm coming right back on.
What? But you're perfectly clear now.
Oh, I'm clear. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we just had to get you back
Shit.
out.
Okay. So
Sean Forshee.
Yeah, Sean Forshee. If we're talking about just character, right? Then he's going against Derek Smith tomorrow. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about arm wrestling. Sean's he's been training hard for the last year and a half or so, and the gains that he's made in that short time are pretty impressive. He's a very strong dude. I have trouble with him, so yeah, he's definitely not a slouch. He's definitely not a slouch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like Imad's story, so this could play out to be a very good match. I love the up and comer matches. They're just kind of like finding out where they're at with this, and they're getting a real super match to do it. When you're new in the sport and you're trying to get out there in a stacked tournament and see where you're at, it could be very frustrating. It could be very hard, just navigating a tournament in and of itself is a tricky thing, especially when you're new. But to have one singular competitor to focus on and best of 5 to do it, it can be a really fun, interesting opportunity for the new guys. So yeah, we got Chris Zawacki, our South guy, versus Matt Hughes. And yeah, that's just a huge match for Chris. Matt is just an amazing arm wrestler. They're going left and right-handed, and this will be a ranking match.
This is another one of those special ones. I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but Chris was one of the youngest competitors to place at the Yukon Jack in 1993. So if that gives you an idea of how long Chris has been pulling, he started way back then and took some time off, and now he's getting back into it pretty heavily. So yeah, Zowacki, Yukon Jack, 93.
Oh, I didn't know that about him. Is there any footage on that?
Here's what I have. I will give it to you right now.
Sweet. All right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was I thought that was pretty neat. I mean, that's like how many people can say that they pulled at the Yukon Jack, right? So here's what I have. 17 years old.
Are you sending it in the chat to me or in a message?
I'm not sure.
Like on the Zoom chat or something else?
No, on Messenger.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm sending it to you
Yeah, when you're
right. There you
when
go. It is sent.
When your signal went all bad, Eric Linville said that you sounded like Neo when he takes the red pill.
Everything's all
Yeah, Jay Collins said when he touches the mirror. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly.
You know what's weird about that sound? That sound is so cringy to me.
It is. It is.
It's
yeah.
Oh man, a very weird sound.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'd like to say what it sounds like or what it reminds me of, but I'm not going to get into my party days. Let's see. Okay, so there is a link here. 17 years old, Summer Wacky. Cool, man. Holy moly. Yeah, he's just a kid there. Amazing. All right. Yeah, maybe.
Can you screen share it so everybody can see it or no?
I think so. Let's, oh, here it is.
Or is that too
Yes, I can do it. I can do it.
much of a headache?
Can do it. I'm gonna put my mind to it. And I'm gonna hit the button. All right, here we go. There he is. It looks in this picture, it looks like Mike Brown went back in time to hang out with a young version of Chris Zowacki. Right here. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, I recognize
Oh wow.
this guy.
Cherry must
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that is a cool thing. He never told me that. I'm gonna talk to him about that. That's so cool. Yeah, I thought he was new. I thought
Robert Terry was also at the Yukon Jack in 93.
was he? So cool. Okay, let's see. That's the round robin list. Okay, so
Am I
we've got,
frozen again?
no, you're good. We got Robbie Ballesteros. So last year we had the Ryan Ballesteros. Now we got the brother. Robbie Ballesteros is going against Christian Habahug, left hand, and this is going to be a ranking match. So this is going to be a good one. We all know how good Christian is. We all know how good Robbie is. And just to take a quick peek at the rankings, let me jump back here. Oh, no, I have to scroll down. Yeah, see where these guys are at. Let's see what they're fighting for here. They could just be fighting for glory, but
No, I think it's one spot difference between the two. I think like one is 7, one's 8. I think
okay.
so.
Then it's a match that makes a whole lot of sense to happen.
Well, yeah, they both so Christian came up to Patterson last year and they both ended up pulling after, they went through some grueling wars or whatever, and they both looked at each other and said, we got to try this fresh for fresh someday. So this has been planned by them since last year.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And so we're coming up to the 205s. Okay. So yeah, we've got this is a left-hand match, right?
Yes, between Robbie and Christian, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that one. So Robbie, yeah, is currently number 8, and Christian is ahead of him at number 7. So Robbie looking to take that number 7 spot. And the other match that Robbie Ballesteros has, let me pull the screen share up again. But before I do, let me see where their rankings are.
It was with the Caribbean Bull. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Let me see where they're at. So the Caribbean Bull is number 8.
Goyo's number 8, and I think Robbie's number 6.
Okay. So yeah, Goyo's going after that number 6. No, number 5. Robbie right now, as of June 4th from Patterson, is number 5.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So Caribbean Bull at number 8 is going after Robbie Ballesteros at number 5, wanting that number 5 spot. And Robbie Ballesteros is being a badass by saying, yes, I will put my number 5 on the line. Come and get some. I love that. I absolutely love it. Okay, let me pull the screen share back up and get this list back up. Okay. So that concludes.
Can you hear me fine, even though I'm choppy, or what?
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I can hear you. And
Okay.
so that concludes the light heavyweight. Oh no, don't go that fast. Okay, I'm revealing too much here. Okay, so for the heavyweight, we have
You almost revealed. It's already revealed.
it's done. It's done. It's done.
You see Mega right there. Everybody knows what's coming next.
Everybody knows what's coming. Yeah, that's okay.
Woo!
It's all right. Yeah,
All right.
don't rewind. Yeah, if you rewind, you're no friend of mine.
Remember when they used to have that on the VHS? It would say "Be kind, rewind."
That's right. That's right. That's right. Did you ever work at a video store?
No, but I used to rent a lot of movies from them.
Yeah, I used to work at Blockbuster when I was a kid. I worked at Blockbuster Video.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was
That was my favorite spot.
Yeah, it was the most boring job I think I've ever had in my life. Yeah, it was a very boring job, but yeah, we did get to rent a whole lot of movies. Like literally all you're doing is freaking rewinding tapes and putting them on a shelf. And paying too much attention to movies and stuff. So Josh, we've got you versus Robbie Noble, right hand. Josh Edwards versus Robbie Noble, right hand. I really, really like this match. I really look forward to seeing what happens in this match because I've pulled both of you guys, and there's just a lot of similarities. I strongly predict that we're gonna have a fight, that we're gonna have a little bit of a center table fight. And what's gonna happen, I'm not sure. I feel like Robbie's a little more squirrely than you, Josh. He does have little explosive factors to him, but you guys like to fight.
You know what?
Places.
I like Squirrely because then I can look at him and I can explain to him what nowhere to run means.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, there's some good ones on this heavyweight, man.
Who is that name under mine? Why does it say Mega Minor?
That's well, I guess we're just supposed to put Minor. Like that was like the nickname that we
No, I know. I'm being I'm
Oh,
joking.
Okay.
But okay,
They stop
so
calling him Mega Minor.
Mega Minor, we got Minor versus Eric Linville.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what
Yeah.
happened the last time they arm wrestled, which would have been California State Championship in
Yeah,
January.
so I think got Minor got a win on Eric. I think it was I'm not even sure what hand it was. I know I was talking to Eric the other day, and Eric had beat Adam Silver, but then Adam Silver beat Minor. Um, yeah, either way, Eric was excited about the match. It's going to be a good match, but I think that Minor has a win on him.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they both have different strengths that they're playing at. I mean, Eric's 6'6". He's a giant. He's got a really good long lever, strong dude. Um, and Miner's got that hit. That hit, it catches a lot of people off. It's very explosive. I mean, he's had that since he was, shoot, I remember when he first started coming around with his dad, Mega Mike. Yeah, like even as a kid, like, oh man, that hurt when that kid would hit into your arm. So that's going to be a fun one. Really good to have both of these guys in on the list. Am I doing it again? All right, tease. We've got Paul Stevens versus Jan Czech. So we all know Paul Stevens. We all know how good he is. And he's been really good lately too. He seems to be pretty injury free, very, very strong. And like at least him and I, we know very little about Jan Czech. And as far as I know, he's really just not out there that much. Right, Josh?
Not out there much. I could give you 3 words that can describe him and sum him up for you.
Okay.
He's from Russia.
Oh. So Paul's got to take this guy seriously then.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Okay.
That's all you need to know. He's very strong. Jan is he's tall. He's quite a bit longer than Paul is. Um, Incredibly enough, with the longer arm and everything, Jan likes to be inside. So I think it's a very cool match. It's another one of those where we could see Jan go inside with Paul, and Paul probably would be pretty comfortable there. So we could have a real war, a real grinder.
Nice. Nice. Love it. Love it. Okay. And now moving on to the super heavyweights. We've got 8 matches here. And so we were talking earlier about Waldo Saldana and how big of fans we are of Waldo. But turns out, yeah, Josh just got word that Spencer Papau, who was his competitor, is now a no-go. So we will be looking for somebody to fill that match with Waldo Saldana. We all want to see where Waldo's at, and we need to throw somebody good, really good at him, a real good challenge. So that said, yeah, we will immediately be getting on that. Number 1 on the list here. And by the way, none of this is in any particular order. This isn't like, how the order of the event will go, or at least, that's not how the list was put together to be. But we've got Anthony Candelaria versus Johnny Dang, which is expected to be a really good match. They pull very, very similar. You were the one that dreamt up this match, weren't you, Josh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, everything down to the way they pull and their
their physique. They're both about the same height. They're both very wide shouldered. They both, kind of have a yanking style, where they kind of yank and drag. And yeah, I think it's almost like one of those Simpsons shows where they show like the other family that's them, but they're dressed different, they look different. It's like one of
Yeah,
those,
polar
like
opposite.
it's almost like I feel like it's a mirror image.
Dude, we just went over this list last night, and I don't know how we didn't see this. How did this get down here? Apparently, Austin Fenley and Ricky Ramos are super heavyweights now. Ricky Ramos was like a 250 dude, I guess, at one time. But anyways, I am going to move that way up here to, let's see, that would be the middleweights that they're competing in. Let's see. Okay. So we definitely should talk about that. Austin Fenley coming up really, really quick. And story goes, at the California State Championship, Austin had the last win on Ricky Ramos, left-handed. So yeah, as far as I know, they both they're having a left and a right-handed ranking match for this. Right now, currently Austin Fenley is ranked at number 9, I believe it is, in the California rankings. And Ricky hasn't busted on there yet because he was competing 165 for a while, and he was ranked at 165 doing well. But looks like he's getting comfortable at 185 and looking to make the transition there. But you've got a veteran, Ricky Ramos. They call him Tricky Ricky. They call him Pretty Ricky, going against the newbie Austin Fenley. But Austin Fenley's good, man. He's getting good quick. What do you think about that match, Josh?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, before this last weekend, I was I was pretty undecided about it, and uh it's it's hard to pick a new guy over somebody who's so experienced and well-rounded. But last weekend, Austin ran through one of the OG armbenders 3-0 in a challenge match, and on paper there was hardly anybody had him winning that match. So I think it's just one of those where how good does Austin show up that day? If he shows up in his best form, then it could be a really, really, really long match, to where it comes down to a couple minute details. I think even the win that he does have on Ricky in the tournament, it was very, very close. It was, by no means was it dominant. By no means was it one-sided. It was a very close win that could have went either way. So now we put that in super match form, to where a guy like Ricky, Tricky Ricky, right, has multiple opportunities to find out which way he wants to pull this guy, right? I still would think on paper that Ricky is the favorite, but don't count Austin out. Do not count him out. The guy's impressive. He's impressive.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. We've got Atlantis IRL in the house. He mentions that we should say prayers for Ingen. Apparently he says he's laid up with appendicitis. So I don't know much about that, but if that is, yeah, definitely everyone.
Yeah, his appendix burst. The other night for a couple days. He was having real bad pains. He thought it was gas, his appendix burst. He went to the hospital, and they told him it burst. He had the surgery. He just got out of surgery, and he is okay, but they're cleaning up the toxins out of his body and putting him on some strong antibiotics. So just recovery now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, everybody send your love, your prayers, your goodwill over that direction. So I've got Eric Linville in the chat as well saying that Minor got him in the strap left-handed. He actually won in the strap. I find that pretty interesting. And but they didn't face each other right hand. And their match is right-handed, yes, for this. So that makes me think of one thing. We'll double check when we get down to the bottom of this list for the after party matches. But yeah, so their match for the main stage is right-handed. I think it would be cool if you want to get that revenge, Eric, left-handed. If Minor's coming to the after party, maybe you can run that there. But we shall see. And let's see. Yeah, he says he's very strong. Okay, so also in the super heavyweights, obviously the big announcement, we've got Mega Mike versus Tom Nelson. It's going to be a right-handed ranking match. This was literally confirmed yesterday, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yesterday.
So, yeah, let me see where these guys are at.
2 and 3. Mike is number 2. Tom is number 3.
Okay. And this is on the right hand, you're saying? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so Tom's going after that number 2 spot then. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a fun one. Who do you got in that match, Josh?
Well, this is it's another really hard one. I feel like after Tom had lost last year to Tony, and the year prior he had lost to Derek and Tony, or 2 years, whatever it was. I think that it did spark something in him, because Tom has been on an upward trend, coming back to form where he's looking, really good. Right-handed, it's so hard to bet against Mike. If that match stops, if that match stops, I mean, you have to think that Mike has the power to win that match.
Right.
And it could be fairly, easily. However, if Tom does what Tom does and he comes in trained up, Tom is another one that's known for the hand. And if Tom takes the hand and Mike doesn't have the hand and the cup engaged, I don't know that Mike is strong enough without his hand to finish from that spot with Tom. So it could be a very good match, but it also could be a blowout. And that's kind of what scares me about matches like this, right? Is because you want everybody to come in and feel like they got to fight. But Mike has been on an upward trend since he started. I know he had a little bit of time with injury where he kind of took a little break, but while he's been arm wrestling, he continues to get better and stronger and continues to take down more formidable opponents. I would say that this is either Tom chasing the ranking or Mike solidifying the number 2 spot. Like either way, they both have something on the line. It's so hard to pick, and it's it's like you betting against Derek, right? Like
Right.
Tom is one of my coaches, and he's one of the guys that I started in the garage over there with. So it's hard to bet against a friend, but I am a realist. So I know that it's going to take everything that Tom has to come and win that match if he wants to win that match.
Right.
If he doesn't come in fully prepared and he doesn't come in as strong as he can, then he's going to have a long day. Mike is no slouch. I think that Mike is even higher ranked nationally than it shows right now. I think that he can beat a lot of people that we haven't seen yet. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's why, like, going back to our original conversation about, putting these guys that were at the top of their game years back against people that are at the top of their game now. Um, it's for that reason. I really do want to see Tom in top form. I really want to see him come in his best form as he can, so we can see what happens in that match, because we already know, Mike is he's doing great. He's in his full form and everything like that. And just, yeah, I have so much respect for Tom. So it would be really, really cool to see him show up for this match. And he wants it, so I'm assuming that he will be.
well,
Uh,
they pulled not too long ago at the UAL, and
that's right.
yeah,
Yep.
I believe that it was pretty close. So that's the one thing that gives me hopes, is that the thing is, Mike, from the history at least that we see, he's not the most fast, explosive off the go arm wrestler. Um, because of that, I think that it can be, a really good match. I think that those guys who are a little extra quick and have that top of the hand and everything, I think that they're, getting the advantage of Tom rather quickly. But if I remember right, they did have a little bit of a drawn out match. And I think it's just for that reason. I think that Tom's able to get into a defensive mode with a guy that how Mike pulls.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Well, I'm sure it's going to be a crazy match. It's going to be one of the biggies we're all looking forward to. Another match that we had just recently confirmed. Um, yeah, Chris Zawacki actually helped relay the message. I guess yeah, Casey Stevens and Brent Lagasse were doing some talking, and they decided to set up a right-handed match. So we're gonna run it. Uh, I I don't wait. Oh, maybe I do know Brent. Is Brent the San Diego guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
he
Okay.
trains with Paul Stevens.
Right. Who do you have in this match?
Casey.
Of course. He's your guy. He's your guy.
Yeah, I don't like him that much, but he's gonna win. No, I don't. I honestly don't know anything about the Brent guy
Yeah.
enough to give it a real educated decision. I'm gonna vote for Casey because he's my boy, right? But if I had a little bit more information, I could give a true uh, answer to this match. I don't know much, and if I'm correct, I think that Brent is more around the heavyweight weight and not the super heavyweight, but he's pulling up to pull Casey.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's around 240. So,
okay, let me pull up Brent.
are you going to screen share it so I can see him?
He's not even unless his name was spelled wrong. Here, let me try a different way. Just to make sure I can find him. Uh,
I think you. All right, I think you tried this last time. I think he's only on Insta.
okay, well, their conversation was on, looks like,
Was it on Facebook?
Yeah, it looks like Messenger. But I think I know who he is. He's a big dude. And yeah, so to me this will be an information match. A lot of us have been following Casey and his trajectory. So it'll be interesting to see where Brent's at with this. We've got Anthony John versus Javier Martinez. Javier, another one of my teammates who has been
Yeah.
killing it, by the way. Like just he's been looking good in practice. He's been looking really good. So I want to see how he does getting back into competition. Anthony John, don't know a lot about him. You pulled both of these guys though, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
What do you think about this match? Didn't you tell me Anthony's like also one of those guys that's been leveling up quite a bit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's definitely been leveling up. He's another one though that's um he he's very like strength based right now.
Mm,
Like he just relies on the strength. As he progresses and learns more technique, I mean, he could be a very dangerous dude just because of his sheer, size and how thick he is and how big his bone is and his biceps and everything like that. I mean, he has a lot of potential, but right now I think uh he's kind of like just banking on the strength.
mm,
So it's always hard with him to know because whenever we've seen him against a real technical guy, it tends to, the strength is you have a hard time with strength being just enough in this sport,
right, right, right.
right? So um, I would say that Javier definitely is the technical leader of the two. And I would say that Anthony is the strength leader of the two.
Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, Johnny Dang just chimed in the chat and said Anthony John beat me pretty decisively at the OAL State Championship in LA. He took first. Now that he's saying that, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember that. Let's see. Eric Linville says that Anthony is a load in practice for sure. Um, and yeah, Carl Gerke says that Brent Lagasse is a San Diego guy who's been about 2 years into the sport. Alwyn Kaburi is in the chat with us now, and Alwyn actually wants to see Austin Fenley versus Michael Brown one of these days. Um, yeah, yeah, that could definitely be interesting. Um, yeah, we just need to keep seeing more from Austin. I think he's doing really good, and the more challenges we could throw his way, the better. So for the super heavyweights, that pretty much concludes it because we just need to get somebody to fill in for Spencer Papao, and go against Waldo Saldana. Um, yeah.
Wait a minute. There's a match on here. There's a match on here that just clicked in my head that I do not see.
What's
Maybe
that?
I did that. I did that mess up that you told me.
What's that?
Spencer Papao's brother, Zach Papao, is supposed to be on there against Lorenzo Munoz.
Is he?
Yes.
And that's like 100% confirmed with Lorenzo?
Oh yeah, I'm the one who confirmed it. I thought that I put it on the list a long time ago. I mean, maybe we somehow pushed it off, or maybe I didn't write Papao twice because of Spencer. I don't know, but I know that I was looking at the name in the beginning list.
Was it a while ago enough that we need to reach out and double confirm with both of them before solidifying it, or is this like just a for sure thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's.
We'll
I could
put both
reach
on
out
the
right
list
now.
regardless.
I know it's sure from Lorenzo's end. I was just wondering if
So
it's still
this,
sure on Zach's end.
okay, and this would be a 205 match, right? Light heavyweight.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see.
Am I spelling his name wrong?
Okay.
You said his son's name is what? Zach?
It's his brother. So yeah, Lorenzo, I'm down by the way. Perfect. Okay, same for me. If he wants to put me, I won't take him lightly. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Lorenzo's good. Um, Let me check Zach real quick.
So while you're looking, Alwyn, yeah, Alwyn mentioned he thinks that Chad needs more training before he goes against Michael. Um, and that Michael is heavy right now. Um, yeah, Michael is planning to cut to 165. This is going to be a ranking match. So he will be at 165, and I know he won't have any trouble doing that. Alwyn, have you pulled Michael recently or anytime recently? And Josh, what you said it's Zach, right? Zach.
ZACK.
CK and Papao, how do I spell that again? Because I took it off of here.
PAO.
PAOPA. Oh, wait, PAOPAO. Okay, cool. What kind of name is that? What's
Samoan.
okay, gotcha. Wait, so that is added. We'll pull up the women's and the kids in a
Wow.
second here. I'm just taking a peek at the rankings. Um, for Mr. Waldo. Let's see. I mean, gosh, uh, it's a little lower down in the rankings, not much, but right below Spencer is Matt Silva and Israel Chavez, for Waldo Saldana. Other than that, up north, in terms of the rankings, there's not really anybody that makes sense. I know Ilya's unavailable for this. Um, so yeah, there's Spencer at number 7, Matt Silva at number 8, Israel at number 9, and then Larry Wills holds number 10. And we are specifically looking at right hand for Waldo Saldana. Yeah, just curious, Josh, what do you think about either Matt Silva or Israel Chavez versus Waldo Saldana? Just spitballing, we're not making anything set in stone, obviously, but just what would you theoretically think about that?
I would think either one of those would be decent. I think Israel would probably be um, a better option if I was trying to set up somebody to beat Waldo.
Mm-hmm.
If I was trying to look for, a guy who I thought could win the match,
I would lean more that way, but that's not to say that Matt can't win the match.
Because Matt did just beat Israel. So are you saying that in terms of like
Well, that's
style?
why I talk so much about super matches and the number one contender, because in tournaments,
Yep,
bracket is everything.
right.
Okay. If you draw the number 4 and 5 guy in California back to back, and that's who you just pulled, and I get the number 18 and 19 guy, well, then my day's a little bit easier. And when me and you now meet up, um, you never know what can happen. Not to say that this is exactly the case or taking anything from anybody, but again, I'm a realist first. So I know that variables matter, and there's a lot of variables that made what happened that day happen.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that definitely makes sense. Um, yeah, we can maybe reach out to Israel and see what's up. Let's see. Benji says, hit that like button, please do. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And he also posted the GoFundMe link for the California sponsorship.
I don't think we've ever asked people to subscribe, have we?
Yeah, we really don't. The moderators definitely help us with that. But yeah, I love everybody that comes in here. You know, we're all a family just trying to blaze these trails, you know. Um, let's see.
We need to make an award for that, like the mega moderator.
Yeah, man. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, and Benjimac is also going to be helping with our camera work. He does have matches, so I don't intend to keep him too busy with that. But you know, even if he just like posts up an isolated camera somewhere, because we'll have some other cameras running too. But yeah, Benji's
I
the man.
would love Benji to get some of that Gary Roberts-esque type footage of North versus South. I mean, we did a little bit of it last year, but not enough.
The like
Um,
crowd stuff.
And Benji is very good at talking to people, talking to the chat, talking to the video, all at the same time, while knowing the right things to to get engagement from the people he's talking to. So as a viewer, whenever I'm watching Benji walk around and talk to people, and hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing? Hey, bro. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's real strong looking. All this different stuff. I would really love to see some of that, because I think it fits so well. Benji is like a perfect documentary filmer, like
You're right.
literally.
He
He
really
really is.
is. Yeah, he was at our last
Yeah.
practice filming, and you're right. He really does do a great job with that kind of fly on the wall stuff and engaging people.
Mhm.
That's a really good point. That would be a great place to direct his talents. The after party too, Benji. Yeah, if you want to
That's
float
all him.
around
That's
a
all
little bit.
him. Last
Yeah.
year was amazing.
Yeah, this documentary is going to be all kinds of fun. It's going to be really, really good.
And do you guys remember what happened last year? Last year, when we were packing up the last bag and walked out the door, here comes this old Indian motorcycle that rolls up, and it's none other than White Wolf. And he's like,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. Out of
he's like,
nowhere.
hey, I heard there was an arm wrestling thing going on here. And I was like, oh, yeah, we just got done. And he goes, oh, man, that sucks. I just drove 4 hours to get here, right? And I was like thinking to myself, and I told him, I said, bro, who drives 4 hours and doesn't know what time it starts, right? And he goes, oh, he goes, they call me White Wolf. And I was like, oh, I hear about you in all the videos. He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, I'm like Derek Smith's biggest fan. And then I go, oh, we're having an after party right now. He's over there. You want to come? He goes, what? He's there. He was so stoked. And then he went and hung out with us, bro. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, man. That guy's a character. I liked him. He's very cool.
Hey, I got to do it one more time. He looks just like Mika, bro.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Everybody said it. Everybody said it. He literally looks just like Mika from Back to the Future. Like if Mika was 40 years older and then he came back to visit himself.
Yeah.
Looks just like him.
Maybe he is. Yeah.
Even the same like crazy eyes and stuff when they both like woo, like very interesting. That was like his doppelganger for sure.
If in 40 years from now there was the ability to time travel, I could definitely see Mika being, one of the test subjects to do it, or like be the first to like buy one or something like that. So White Wolf could be. I mean, White Wolf sounds
I know
like,
we haven't seen him since then.
yeah, he's just gone. He sounds like that. I mean, that's an alias, Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's the
you're right.
first, what what name do you give those? Because yeah, of all like the different, incognito names that are in chats on like every channel, you see White Wolf over there, and Neil Pickups. You see him there with the Beer Man a lot. He was the first one that I met, and got to pull with, and
Yeah, it's part of like the troll army or whatever.
right. Typically with those guys with ambiguous names and stuff like that, I expect if I was to meet them, it ends up being like a 13-year-old kid with like acne and stuff, and like, or just something something you didn't expect. But dude is like cool as
Right.
all hell, showing up like with his, what are those called, with the jacket, the leather jacket with the frills on it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he had a duster on.
A duster, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. You don't see anybody wear that stuff anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I would hang out with that guy a bunch of times for sure.
Oh,
Uh,
hey,
oh, and Robert Terry says that he definitely endorses to get Israel Chavez in on this. Yeah, he just messaged sending praise about Israel.
oh Robert Terry, I'm not taking any more endorsements from him.
Let's
He
see.
told me to drink that apple cider vinegar, and I drank it, and then afterwards I found out that Bill Gates acquired the apple cider vinegar company.
Okay. All right. All right.
Horrible endorsement.
You guys with your apple cider vinegar, man. Well, I drink that shit every morning too. Uh,
It's actually delicious, bro. I have to admit, it's not bad with honey.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Yeah, I throw a little bit in my morning water. It's good. Gives you a little wake up there. Alwyn responded to my question about pulling Mike Brown, and he says, I've just gone against them both, and based off my experience with them, I just see Austin as a better candidate to bring us a win, bring the North a win. Um,
At
and
least he's honest. At least he's
yeah,
honest.
yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, well then let's switch it up because we're trying to win that trophy. Alan, you set up all the matches.
No, 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 no. No,
You set them
I need
all
to
up.
I need to see some more information on Austin. Um yeah, I don't know how to weigh in on that. I can't be sure. I feel like I pulled Austin in the January tournament and beat him. It's not like I went in with him or like anything like that. He might have just not not be able to contain the hit or something like that. But, right now I think Mike Brown's better than me. Um, so, I still think we're talking about styles, and I'm not exactly sure where Austin's at. But I do find that very interesting though. And I didn't know you pulled Michael Brown recently, Alwyn. Let's see. Danny Dowler
So wait a
says
minute. Alwyn doesn't feel like he's a better match for Mike Brown? I just want to know.
Alwyn thinks that Austin's a better
No,
match.
no, no. I know. I mean Alwyn. I mean Alwyn himself. Would he not put himself against Mike Brown before the other two that he's talking about? I just want to know where he puts himself with Mike Brown. Alwyn, you're still listening. Where do you put yourself with Mike Brown? And yes, Zach Papau just confirmed. So him and Lorenzo Munoz are still on.
Okay, then it's solid. We'll keep it on the list. Is that a ranking match?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, let me add in that little bit. Yeah, let us know, Alwyn, what your thoughts are with you and Mike Brown. He also said in the chat, Alwyn said that Mike Brown is a 185 guy. I would disagree with that. Most every time,
He always makes 165.
he's always competing at 165. Does Mike Brown get himself to like 185? I'd say more like 175 to 180 when he's doing his training camp. But he's always competing at 165. Let's see. Ranking match. Oh, and Lorenzo versus Zach, is that right-handed or left-handed?
I mean, they wanted to go both, but you
Okay.
know, yeah. Oh,
So
and Waldo just messaged me, and he doesn't want a replacement.
so he's not going to be in this?
No, I mean, he might be there to hang out, but he says that he's still injured. The only reason he took the Spencer match is because Spencer called him out.
Okay. All right.
He
Okay.
said that he could use a couple months to heal.
Okay. Okay. That is understandable. I will take him off, and that does leave some space to do both arms with Lorenzo. And so what we have is women and kids. I'll pull the screen share back up.
Oh, this is where the list gets real exciting.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, so Alan's saying that Mike Brown is currently posting on Facebook and stuff about 185 and actively looking to find a 185 dude from North for R. Even Tom Nelson volunteered Austin.
Oh, wait. So wait, hold on. Wait. What does that mean? Does that mean that Mike does not want the Chad Shelby match?
No, Mike wants it. They're confirmed. They both want it.
Okay.
That's a done deal. Alan's just seeing it differently. But yeah, as far as I know, recently, yeah, Mike was interested in taking a heavier match. But no, he's cutting for this match, and he is more often like I don't know. I really don't see him compete anything above 165. He did do a heavier match in Mexico when we went there. But yeah, typically 165 is his jam, and either way, he's cutting for it. So he will be 165 right along with Chad Shelby. And the biggest thing is like who in the 165s would be a better situation for Chad Shelby. And we still need to get information on Chad Shelby from out here. We know he's a top guy in Hawaii. We know he beat a lot of guys that we know. So yeah, and a lot of the 165s that would be a good contender for Chad Shelby are already taken with a match. So he wants the test with Michael Brown, and Michael Brown said yes. So we are gonna run it. And let's do the screen share again. Let's see. So women. Okay, we got my wife, Malia Fontecchio versus Reagan Craig. Left hand and right hand. It will be a ranking match.
Hey, you know what? Shout out real quick to the Craig family. Every single one of them and their siblings are competing in this event.
Yeah,
Thank you
definitely.
very much. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, we've got Elijah Colazzo is going against Nolan Craig, Regan's brother. We've got Kaleo, 13-year-old versus 13-year-old Logan Craig, the other brother. Absolutely.
And then the oldest brother is in the round robin.
Yep, Aiden's in the 145 lightweight round robin. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. They're just a family of killers. So Regan will be going after Malia's. I believe she is the number 6 spot. Let's see. Where
Are you talking about overalls or 0 to 135?
So for the women's, I think it's 0 to 154. And yeah,
Oh,
Malia,
wow. Is it that high?
yeah, it's rough for the ladies, man. Hopefully, we build the women's side and we can change that.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, that's our goal for next year. We have a women's round robin with the super matches, and we start a lighter weight women's class. Because if you really look at it, when you look at Malia, you look at Terry, you look at Grace, you look at all them, they're all under 154.
Yeah, it's something we can make space for because I don't know that we're going to get 18. It would be
No, we don't need
good.
18. We could have 6.
We
We
could
could have
have
6 and it'd be just as fun. It's just for them. I
Why
mean,
not?
they already have rankings established and whatnot, but just to get, like, even for example, we could have as many girls we can get together, and we could have like all of the girls that are 130 and under go against each other, and then all the girls that are 130 to 160 can go against each other, or whatever the deal is, right? But yeah, I mean, I think 0 to 154 is a huge gap for the women, especially when a lot of them are walking around at 110, 115.
Yep, it's true. Yeah, and Malia is very light. So Malia is number 6 currently on the right hand in California. She is also number 6 on the left hand, and they will be pulling both hands. So Malia will be defending that ranking. And then we've got just a crazy, crazy match here with Grace Bear versus Tara Terry. Let's see. So Tara has the last win, right, on Grace.
Yep.
The number 1 spot. And so Tara will be defending her number 1 spot from Grace, who should be, Little Bear. She is number 2 on the right, and she's also number 2 on the left. So yeah, that's going to be a great, great match. I think a lot of us are going to be looking forward to that. Both these women's matches are going to be amazing. Really, really, really looking forward to that. We got the kids matches, Elijah Collazo, like I said, versus Nolan Craig. Elijah is looking better and better at practice, having a lot of fun, training harder than most anybody on Alpha Empire. He's just a really big inspiration for all of us at his age. And Nolan Craig, he's one of those kind of like lanky kids, really fast, great top roll. I saw him for the first time in January at the California State Championship. And I feel like Nolan has the last win on Elijah. I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah. So Elijah's out for blood with that one. And yeah, we'll see what happens. That's going to be a right-handed match. We've also got Elijah's buddy Kaleo, who trains with us often. He's 13 years old. He'll be going against Nolan's little brother, Logan Craig, who's also 13 years old. That is a right-handed match. And for me, I've never even seen Logan pull, but I know I hear good things about him. And I know where Kaleo's at. He's very talented. So that's going to be a fun one to see where those chips fall.
Is Kaleo real strong or what?
Kaleo's strong. Kaleo's very strong. What?
We might have to switch it up, bro. We might have to switch the matches around.
Yeah. Well, what other 13-year-old do you think is better for Kaleo?
Well, no, because Logan, he has trouble with Evan. Like Evan can get him most of the time.
Evan's special though, and he's got that hit. Are we talking in a
Yeah,
slow
maybe.
roll?
No, I'm talking on a ready go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Kaleo is a very experienced ready go puller.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Evan could sneak a pin on Kaleo. But yeah, I'd like to see where these chips fall. Like, I mean, how do you
It's
feel about?
only because I'm thinking of Elijah. Like, is Kaleo anywhere near Elijah's size?
No, 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 no,
Oh, okay.
no,
Okay. Okay.
no.
Okay.
He's a smaller kid. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because Logan's a he's a pretty little guy. I mean, he has to be under 100 pounds for sure. Um, you know, but yeah, okay. It's gonna be awesome either way. I mean, kids, that's why they're kids matches. They're gonna have fun.
Yep. And I think that's around where Kaleo is sitting. He's probably somewhere in the 100-pound range, I would say. He's not a big 13.
Okay.
And yeah, we've got Evan the Hitman versus Elijah Ray. So basically your kid versus Jeffrey Ray's kid. Right-handed.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that about?
Huh?
What's that about? We're still doing this.
Nothing. I mean, I hope Jeff is still my friend after this. I mean, shit. You
Oh,
know?
oh, you think it's going to be bad news for Elijah? Elijah Ray?
I mean, I'm just gonna sound like I'm gonna sound like Devin is with Auden, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bad day, bro. It's a bad day.
Well,
Unless he borrows his dad's arm or something.
we all want to see Evan pull, but the good thing is at least Elijah Ray has his dad behind him, and
Yeah, no, this is beautiful, man. Both of them,
inside information, your
both of
dad knows
them.
exactly where Evan's at, so he wouldn't throw Elijah at him for nothing, and I'm sure they're formulating a game plan.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just like I said, I'm just be doing like the Devin with Auden. Of course, I'm gonna talk smack and say that, but either way, it's an awesome thing because last year, Evan was like so depressed that he couldn't have a match, and like this is actually the first match that Evan's ever gonna have with somebody that's close to his age or weight or anything.
Yeah.
So regardless, it's still cool. It's an awesome thing, and when we're growing it. I mean, last year we had no kids. This year we have 6 kids that are having matches. 3 matches, but 6 competitors, and then women's matches as well, and the legends match. So we have like a whole array of everything. This is awesome. But either way, like Caleb and I were talking the other day, in this sport, if you look at getting pinned like it's a loss, then you're probably in the wrong sport. Each pin is a lesson, no matter if it happens on the A side or the B side of the table. It's a lesson to be learned. And everybody that steps up and has a war, you're a winner, no matter what the score looks like.
Right. Yeah, you gotta look at it as a learning experience. But the other thing I compare it to, like if you're comparing it to like other fight sports, the special and interesting thing about arm wrestling, I think, is it's more like getting pinned once is kind of like getting punched once in boxing, like that one good punch. You don't have the opportunity in an arm wrestling match to exchange several pins until you knock that arm out. So everything's calculated towards that one, quote unquote, like punch. So like if you kind of look at it in that perspective, yeah, look at how many punches happen in one boxing match. So you've got to go through a lot of pins, whether you're doing the pinning or getting pinned to really advance and get experience in the sport. I think that's probably why a lot of people, bounce out of the sport, go in and out of it, because a loss to them can be definitive and so quick. When you want a chance to hit back to pin back. But yeah, they all just go in the bank, you know. So order, as soon as I looked at the Evan versus Elijah match, I'm really interested to see where they're gonna sit in the order of all of this, because that's a hype match for me, seeing Evan up there in a super match, man, that's gonna hype me up, and if you know, it's definitely gonna hype the whole crowd up. How did you and Casey run the order? I had nothing to do with that last year. Did you guys randomize it or just customize something that, you know, was interesting and told a story and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's how I kind of tried to do it. Actually, is I tried to make it to where, okay, talking to a spectator here, not to an athlete, right? Because to us athletes, every match is awesome, right? To a spectator, it's not. So I tried to find a way to make the climb and the peaks and valleys of the day continue and be consistent. So a little bit of high excitement, balanced out, from amateur to pro, mixed back into amateur, then to some pros, instead of doing all the amateurs, then all the pros, or all the high level matches, or all whatever. I tried to make it to where it was every couple was like a bigger name match or whatever it was, and that way it kept everybody on the edge of their seat, and it didn't keep everybody saying, "Oh, well, those matches aren't going to happen until the end, so we can go hang out outside until then," or whatever.
Right,
You had no
right.
idea like who was coming next, and I kind of like that. I like the idea of it. I hope that we can figure out like a good way to do something like that this time, to mix it up. But I know that the main goal should probably be to get some of the bigger ones out of the way in the beginning. That way they're not sitting there for 5.5 hours or whatever it might be waiting for their match. The reason why is I feel like the newcomer who's brand new in the sport, that's kind of like part of paying your dues. You wait till your match is called, you sit around and it's like anxious and this and that. But then ones who have already kind of paved the way, laid the foundation and stuff, and are on the upward trend, they deserve the right to have their match more at the beginning of the day if that's what they want. And I know that from talking to a lot of people last year, the pros at least were in love with the idea of going first, instead of sitting around all day.
Waiting.
So
Yeah.
maybe some weird mix again with that in there, but yeah, definitely like the Tom and Mike match. Like I know that you would think of a match like that and you're like, it's the main event, right?
Yeah, we're gonna
But it
wait.
doesn't have to be, and we don't want those guys to sit till the very end of the day where either one of them's irritated and not happy, right? We want them to get their match out of the way, and not to mention when a lot of these people are coming in North versus South to meet people they've never met before. They don't want to go and ask Tom or Mike or these guys, "Hey, can you pull with me?" "Oh, wait, buddy, my match is in 3 hours. After my match, I can come and pull with you or hang out with you." You know what I mean? People are coming to do a lot of that interaction and whatnot, and the way you do that again is, in my opinion, by getting a lot of the high level stuff out of the way. That way, now they can also be the entertainment on the side, right?
Definitely.
So
Yeah, yeah, and I like the idea of keeping everybody on their toes. You know, if you keep mixing in those bigger matches or ranking matches and stuff like that, it keep people from wanting to like disengage or, you know, go off and do something else or just leave. Oh, Todd Colazzo's in the house. Good to see you here. I will be seeing you Sunday at practice. Yeah, so
hold
yeah.
on, I'm gonna show one more thing on this camera real quick for North versus South.
Ooh.
So this right here is a special custom award Kane and I will figure out who this goes to, the right person, or what it's going to be for. We'll figure out something special. But this is cool. When I first got into the sport, obviously WAL was a big deal, and watching them, I always thought the hammers were really cool. And so we got this nice
Crap.
custom made hammer here.
Dude, that is huge.
Yeah, it's a big hammer. So boom, boom.
Dude, that is very, very nice.
All right, has a nice bicycle grip handle, so it's very ergonomic. This is if anybody knows anything about metal, top of the line right there. Top of the line, steel bar. It's nice. But yeah, we're gonna figure out something to do with this. I thought it'd be another cool idea to give away to somebody, because that's what this is all about, right? I mean, anybody can hand out cash, and cash is awesome. Who doesn't want to win it? But once you get the cash, it's gone, right? Things like this are what you show your grandkids and your children, and this is where the legacy happens, is with the awards and the mementos.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Yeah, Todd and Eric dig it. Eric really likes the medals too. Yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. I like them. There's a lot of originality, I think, in the medals, and that hammer is sick. Do you have any ideas in terms of like where that, like, what type of qualification will go to that hammer?
I do. It's hard, but that honestly, that's something, because everybody knows that they get a medal for winning the match, and now we've showed them the medals, and everybody knows that the round robin winners are going to get the championship belt, and we showed the belt. This one right here, I think that Kane and I are going to keep this a surprise until the last minute, and somebody definitely that's deserving will walk away with the hammer. I can guarantee that.
Amazing. Yes. All right. All right. Love it. Well, that's the list. I don't know what else we have to cover. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's getting close. Getting really close. The list, I was wanting to get it out on the California Arm Wrestling page as soon as possible. I think we're pretty much ready to do that soon. We're gonna get some flyers going and keep moving forward with this. Just to remind everybody, there's going to be the after party with the B&B. Yeah, Chad Shelby just let me know he was going to be coming out Friday early as well to hang out with us, so it'll be good to meet him.
Oh, he's coming to the B&B?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, man.
Awesome, Chad. Man, I knew you was the dude, Chad. That's what's up. Aloha, brother.
So yeah, a lot of great things happening. And yeah, the California sponsorship with those shirts, that's gonna be great. I'm gonna do a little bit of filming this Sunday for the documentary at our practice. We'll do some filming there and have some fun things that we're gonna be doing. And yeah, we'll just keep pushing this thing forward. Yeah, yeah. I think we could pretty much call it a night.
Okay. I mean, yeah, man. Hey, you know what? It's so weird. But when it's just me and you, and we go through this, we talk about so much stuff, and 3 hours goes by so quickly.
It really
right?
does.
But sometimes when we have like 8 or 10 people on here, 3 hours feels like 5 hours. Not to say I don't enjoy all of them, but I feel like this was a very productive show. We got a lot of points across that we wanted to get across. And it's good that you and I get back to our roots of all this, sometimes, and kind of pin the tail on the donkey and let everybody know that we're still paying attention and trying to work hard. So, yeah, just awesome. Great show. We touched everything, and I think that a lot of people are happy now that they can see the list. And yeah, if you guys just rewind the video, you could look at the list all you want. Or Kane's going to post it.
All right, man. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you everybody in the chat for tuning in and yeah, just contributing to this sport and everything. We're looking forward to having everybody out in North vs. South. Thank you. Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Josh's forearm and hand and wrist there.
You see that, Robbie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it'd be real noble of you to back out now, but or maybe it'd be noble of me. Hold on, I got that one switched. It's all right. Okay, brother.
All right.
We'll do this again tomorrow. I guess we'll have like another Zoom or something.
I got to get some trash talking videos from Robbie too.
Yeah, I mean he's already done enough, man. When I had the match with Lorenzo, he was trash talking in my ear when he was the down ref.
Oh,
it's payback. This is payback. This is payback.
Oh man.
And then Hodzi, you think I don't remember that? He's just a guy from the north. Okay, Hodzi. Okay. I love you guys. It's awesome. No, seriously though, Robbie Noble, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to have a match that day. So I'll bring my best.
Awesome. All right. All right, brother. Well, you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for everything.